Hey, what's up, guys? This is Church of Caboose. In this video, we're taking a look at the only two pinnacle machine guns in Destiny 2 right now. We've got the Edgewise and Delirium. We're going to take a look at both of them, kind of compare them, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end. Since the Edgewise is the new pinnacle machine gun from Shadowkeep / Season of the Undying, we will talk a little bit about how to get this machine gun, some little tips, that kind of thing, since it is the new machine gun. If you are wanting to get the Delirium and you haven't yet, let me tell you, it involves a lot of gambits, but I have a link for both weapons down below, so that way you can look up and see articles on how to get to these weapons. But we're not going to really talk at all about the Delirium, other than it is a Gambit's pinnacle weapon that you can pick up from the Drifter. Alright, so how do we get the Edgewise? Well, first, you have to go to the towers, talk to Savala, and pick up the quest, A Loud Racket. Once you have that quest picked up, you just complete a bunch of strikes, get a bunch of machine gun kills, get a bunch of solar blows, and you are done, and you got the machine gun. Odds are, if you've picked up this quest at the beginning of Shadowkeep, you probably have the strikes done, because you have to do a percentage of strikes, and the harder they are, the more progress you make, so Nightfall should be a part of that. But again, check out the article for just in case, because I happen to fall in the category of people that had the strikes done by accident, not intentionally, and I had to do the solar and machine gun blows. So that's what we're going to give you some hints about today. So just like with the Wendigo, you can use the same trick with the Edgewise. The Wendigo, you had to also do a bunch of strikes, and we found that when you got the corrupted strike, you could go off the beaten path, so to speak, and go to the blind well, and you would make a lot of progress towards your Wendigo because you could stay in the blind well. So I'm going to show you real quick how you get to the blind well from the corrupted strike. Alright, so you've been in your strike playlist, you got lucky, and you got the corrupted. Woohoo! Good for you, that's the hard part. So now we're going to go make our way towards the blind well. Follow the video, the gameplay on screen in order to see exactly where to go. But here's a quick, real, fast map visualization of the path we will be taking. So just follow on screen, and I will talk with you guys more once this part of the video, the tour, is over. And that's how you get to the blind well from the strike. Now, why should you be taking advantage of using the blind well while you're in a strike? Well, you get tons and tons of ads, and you're able to stay in the blind well as long as your whole fire team is with you, and they're not going on the strike and pulling you forward. And if you are solo queuing this and you're doing it, you can still get more kills, and you have the advantages of the buffs such as the burn, like heavyweight, whatever the modifiers are, while you're in the blind well. So it makes getting the kills and things like that a little bit easier. Now for the solar kills, sometimes getting kills is easier with a super. And one of the things that happens during these boss fights is when you pick up the little orbs that get dropped when you kill one of those glowing majors, you get an insane buff to your super and ability recharge rates. So you can get lots of supers, as you're kind of seeing on screen, which is a lot for why the blind well works really well. It works fantastically because you get lots of supers, you have lots of enemies, and you can use machine guns and everything crazy because there's more ads, and so it's just easier to get more kills and to make those ticks off of your pursuit for the Edgewise machine gun. So that's why I suggest you do the blind well. Hopefully these tips help you out. Now to the main meat and potatoes of this video, comparing the Delirium and Edgewise machine gun and seeing which one is better. What should you get first? So let's take a look at the Edgewise stats. We got a rapid fire frame, which means it shoots faster and has more reserves. Polygonal rifling, light mag, so it reloads faster when you're completely out of ammo. And then you can choose between feeding frenzy, which is more of a reload speed as you get kills, or field prep, which lets you do things like reload faster when you are crouched. Then you have the option of rampage, which is more damage as you get kills, up to 3 times, and then demolitionist, which gets you your grenade back as you get kills. So the more kills you get, the more grenade energy you get. It's got stability masterwork. Again, you can put mods on it whenever you happen to have. It does shoot 900 rounds per minute and holds 93 rounds in the magazine. However, that 93 is also because I have on backup mag. It's usually more in like the 80-ish range. So keep that in mind. Now let's compare side by side the Delirium with Edgewise. As you can see, Delirium has a little bit more impact, fairly significantly more range and stability, less handling, and way less reload. It also has a magazine capacity of 102, which is quite a bit higher than the Edgewise. It's also a 900 rounds per minute machine gun, so they're fairly similar in some respects, and they kind of like are opposites. But it's a rapid fire frame, polygonal rifling, so far the same, extended magazine, which is why it holds 102, and then it has the intrinsic perks of overflow, which is as you pick up special or heavy ammo, your magazine for Delirium overflows from that. And so then you have killing tally, which is what makes this thing even more attractive. It's basically rampage, but as you get kills, your damage goes up as long as you don't reload or stow your Delirium. So as long as you keep that baby out and you're firing away or just running around, you are set. You won't lose that rampage you've built up. It also has a stability masterwork and 900 rounds per minute firing. So as you guys can see, they're kind of similar, other than they're a little opposite, with like one is better at reload, one's better at range, one's better at handling, and one's better at impact, that kind of thing. So they're kind of a little opposite, but some of the stats are similar. Here's some footage of the Edgewise in action. I am using it in the Altar of Sorrow, and I'm going to have footage of the Delirium in the same location before too long. I did notice against bosses this machine gun was pretty poor. Did not do a whole lot, and I know you can say it's because of not having Rampage on, but however, bosses usually take more time to kill than Rampage stays procced, so I went with the Demolitionist perk, so that way I could get grenades. And so if you're running that insane grenade build that the hunters in particular love to have, where they get like the extra damage and all that goodness from the grenades, this would actually be a really solid choice to go with, because you could throw on those grenades more often and help your team do more damage overall, as long as you have ads to kill with the Edgewise and you have Demolitionist selected as your perk. As far as clearing ads go, I mean, it's a machine gun. Like, machine guns are good at killing red bars, and so like it was fine at that. However, I don't think it was really any better at clearing out ads than like the Recluse is. I was getting tons of orbs with Recluse. But now let's look at 21% Delirium. So this gun, I had a lot of fun using it. Using Edgewise. Edgewise felt like more like a normal machine gun. Delirium felt a lot more nasty. It was great being able to run around, just have ammo constantly getting loaded in. I almost never had to reload, which is great because the reload speed on Delirium is really, really slow. It's really slow, as you can see, notice when we compared the stats of the Edgewise and the Delirium. Also, is not bad for doing boss damage, because you could get a handful of ads, so that way you have your killing tally procced up to 5 times, and use that puppy against the bosses and not lose that rampage increased damage effect until you either had to reload or stow the weapon. But since this was a horde mode, if I had to reload, most of the time I could just real quick look, see some heavy ammo run over it, and I'd just instantly get reloaded, so I would keep my killing tally procced, which was really, really nice to have. I also noticed, thanks to the overflow perk, I was able to at times hold up to over 200 rounds in a magazine. Yes, over 200 rounds can be held in my magazine. So if it was heavy ammo, I usually got more rounds put into my magazine. If I walked over a special ammo brick, it was not as many rounds put into my magazine as if it was a heavy ammo brick. Overall, I was really impressed with the 21% Delirium. When comparing these two and using them in gameplay, if I only had to have one machine gun between the two, I would go with 21% Delirium. This thing was really good with bosses. It worked really well with clearing out ads. However, Recluse was still very close to how efficiently ads were getting cleared. However, if any of those ads are those like tankier red bars or like a major knight or something, the Delirium was definitely a better option than Recluse. It definitely worked a lot better to use Delirium. Edgewise was not bad, but I think Edgewise is more tailored towards having that grenade build. If you have that grenade build, then you're peachy. If you don't, I would suggest just using Delirium if you have it, or trying to get Delirium. Again, links to the full quest are down below. Feel free to check out the timestamps if you want some hints about the Edgewise. I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. It means a lot to me. I hope this information was really useful and helps you to use your time the way you want to use it to get something you want, as opposed to grabbing something and being like, "Ah, boo, that was a waste," like I feel with Xenophage. Bungie, fix it. Anyways, guys, I am Church of Caboose. Have a great week and happy grinding, y'all.